Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch and welcome to my studio. I'm very happy to see you after summer break and I hope the new season will bring us a lot of inspiration. Thank you so much for your kind words about my book, How to Paint Watercolor Transparent Flowers. It brings me a lot of joy and happiness to see that book was very inspiring to you. And as many of you asked about painting more in transparent technique and especially painting daisies, so be it. Let's paint transparent daisies today. Before painting, let's make a pre-drawing, a very sketchy drawing, and map out our main points. I will use the rule of thirds, where you divide your piece of paper into 9 segments, 3 vertical, 3 horizontal, and our section of these lines will be our main focal points. And I will place in this point the pollen area of my future daisy. Pollen area, and then there will be some ovary area and a stem. When we paint flowers or any other objects, when we draw any other objects, we start to draw with very simple shapes. I will be painting daisy where all the petals look down, so we see, so to say, half of the circle. I will remove some pencil marks with my soft razor. I just need some borders which help me to focus. Now let's prepare our colors. It will be monochrome painting and I will use only indigo color. So I take it from my pen into my ceramic plate and I dilute it a lot. How to dilute colors? You just squeeze your brush with a lot of water until you're happy with the color. I use pretty big round synthetic brush and I will start to paint from background petals. All petals will be connected to this area. Let's start with the tip of the brush. I hold my brush about 45 degrees to the paper. I start with the tip of the brush. I make a small stroke, fine stroke, and then I apply pressure on my brush. And then I release the pressure once I'm approaching the border of the circle, like this. One petal is ready. Now, I'm not painting details now. I'm creating the mass, the volume of the flower, and this will be our background petals. Nevertheless, I attach them to the correct point. I start with the tip of the brush. I apply pressure on my brush and I release the pressure. It's a perfect exercise to train your brush strokes. Try to arrange now petals in a way they are not overlapping for now. And try to add some movement. For example, tip of the brush, body of the brush, pressure, and I did not have enough water. So now tip of the brush, body of the brush, pressure, release the pressure. One more. Grab, bathe your brush nicely in your water so it holds enough water. Tip of the brush, pressure, release the pressure. Tip of the brush, pressure, release the pressure. Try not to arrange petals very straight, like kids painting sunshine. Always add some movement, some curviness into your painting. Tip of the brush, belly of the brush, release the pressure. Now let's check it out, maybe a few more like this. You can vary the pressure on your brush to create different brush strokes like this. And then before we start to arrange next layer, we need to dry this layer completely. So this layer is dry. It looks pretty rough now, but that's completely fine. It's our background. Now let's paint overlapping petals. I have a lot of water in my brush. I start with the tip of the brush, and in a way I do the same. So I apply pressure on the petal, but now I'm a little bit more careful with the petal shapes. So I don't do it in one go. I try to correct the shape with my brush, and I remove excess water with my paper towel to avoid puddles. Let's do that again. For example, right here, you can start as we did before in the previous layer, apply a little bit of pressure on your brush, but then go back to the starting point and add a little bit around. And dry your brush with a paper towel and remove this excess water on the tip of the petal. One more petal. Sometimes I like to play a little bit from different sides. That prevents me from doing too symmetrical, too even petals. So I will paint something here. Starting point, apply pressure on the belly of the brush, and then correct the shape. You can vary the length of the brush, of the petal. Some petals they are shorter, some petals they are longer. Don't afraid to add some unexpected moves like this. Now let's have a look. What can we do here? Maybe some petal will be nice right in that moment. And one more. The better paper you have, the more options you will get, the more layers you will be able to apply. Now I'm lifting a little bit the middle color just with dry and damp brush. Let's do one more petal of this layer. I will place it here and I will show you the lifting again. So I start with the tip of the brush. I create the petal area with some overlapping, something here. And then I wash my brush. I dry it with a paper towel and go as the same as I will be painting a petal, but with clean and damp brush. I go in the middle of the petal and my brush works as a sponge and it lifts or removes some excess water and color in the middle of the petal. Now our second layer is ready, and before we finalizing everything, we need to dry this completely. Now comes my favorite part, the final layer and details. I would like to create a little bit more brighter mix of indigo. I use just one color, and you can try to paint this flower, this daisy, in your favorite colors. Maybe it will be burnt sienna, something green, something pink. But the colors should be pretty bold. They should allow you to make a nice contrast. I start with the tip of the brush, then I paint petal. I can wash my brush, dry it with a paper towel, remove a little bit in the middle of the petal. Then I switch to my other brush and very bold indigo color, and I start with the connection point, this point where petal connects to the stem, and I will add more contrast. so to say, some outlines. I can add a little bit outlines around. It's now time for creativity. Let's do one more petal. Let's say right here I will add some movement to this petal, and I can add a little bit of space around. It's really, now you can add details and your favorite ways of decorating, of painting. Somebody likes to add some brush strokes, dots around, so some outlines. So you do outlines, you need to lift this last layer, make it very, very different from the previous ones, and add a lot of contrast. So I keep adding my bold indigo mix at this meeting point, like this. I can also try to add the idea of the middle vein for this petal. Now let's check out one more petal here. Sometimes I lift, I remove the color. To remove the color, I wash my brush, I dry it with a paper towel, and go with damp brush in the middle of the petal. Just like this. One more. I will remove a little bit the middle again. The more contrast you are able to achieve between values, color values, between darks and lights, the more interesting will be your painting. So some middle vein. You can return to some of your previous petals to add more details. Now I'm painting almost with a dry brush over and add some details. Let me have a look. I think here it's some gap which we can a little bit correct if you have the same. I will just with very diluted mix, I will add one more transparent light petal in this area to make it more interesting. I will also add small petal here and maybe one more here, but that's enough. You can add a little bit of shades and details at that moment. Now I would like to paint the inner structure of our daisy, which connects everything, and I will dry all these petals just in case before I start to paint. Everything is dry now. I prepare a little bit bolder mix, and to paint pollen area I will use just tip of my brush, and I paint nice brush strokes around into this ball looking area. The more you go into the middle, into the bottom of the ball, the more dense and darker your strokes should be, because there is some light coming, and it makes this top look brighter. Now let's paint the ovary part. I will use slightly more diluted mix. I paint over the petals just like this, and from this point I will start to paint the stem just with medium diluted color. I try not to press too much on my brush and just cover the stem area with relatively diluted mix. As you notice, I don't paint stem in one go. Usually it's for brave people. If you want to have more control over your brush strokes, over the shapes, take it easier, make it step by step as I do. And it's always a nice idea to minimize, to dissolve the stem area somehow in that way, so it vanishes in the paper. Now, while this ovary area is still wet, I will take very bold indigo right from my pen. It should be bold and pretty dry, and I will add more color into that. And with my very tip of my brush, I will try to add a little bit, a small little line inside the stem area. Again, it's easier to do with smaller brush strokes than with one long brush stroke. Just like this, just like this. Now you can correct the shape if you don't like it. I would like to lift a little bit colors in this point. I wash my brush, dry it with a paper towel, and make few brush strokes only in the middle, only in the middle. It looks pretty lovely. And now you can just add a little bit more of contrast and corrections with the tip of the brush. For example, go over some petals, not around the whole area of the petal, starting from maybe about middle of the petal, and bring some details and contrast, some middle veins idea. A little bit of movement. You can be really caught into that. It's always nice to stop at the right moment as well. Now our transparent daisy is ready. Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm looking forward to see in the comments which flower you would like to paint next. What would you like to paint next? Maybe not only flowers. And I see you next time. Bye bye.